Hey, this is day 6, and I'm starting to run out of things that I find interesting to talk about day to day. Nothing new, really. The main thing I wanted to talk about today is I think that over the past week, I've realized quite a bit that I'm starting to feel a lot more prepared for the long run. Because for the longest time, for the past half year, I was thinking about how I wanted something to succeed instantly. So I wanted to see the results within a week, within 2 weeks. And if it didn't do that, then I thought, hey, it's probably not the thing for me. And I'm realizing that a lot of people go through this, where they think that something needs to succeed immediately. And they really don't have the patience to wait for it. And mostly nowadays, they don't even know that they would have to wait for it. Because a particular example that came up was when you look at a video of someone who's famous and you see their first video, you see 40,000 views. But they didn't have 40,000 views on that, or 40 million for that reason, or 4 million when they made it. It was once they got famous that people went back and started watching it. So it's not like you even see how their videos were doing over time. Nobody checks that. You don't see those few videos have 200 views and nobody commenting on them. So I think that that's a really big piece of the puzzle that people are missing. That in the beginning, even those people had to start on nothing. And it comes down to patience, mostly. And I feel like I've had the opportunity to learn it over time because I knew I had to. I've researched a lot about it, and the people that sort of knew what they were doing, in the end, they always came to the conclusion that it just required patience and doing it over and over again. And that's not just videos, that's probably anything. So I might feel like I'm probably going to be doing pretty well at the beginning. I think it's still going to need like daily effort and a lot of time and effort that's going to go in it before I see anything happen. You know, famous example, Gary Vee, 10 years, nothing, right? And still for the first 2 years of that first series he made, nothing. So I'm still struggling with it, but I'm trying my best to get it, fit it into my mind that it's going to take weeks, months, I don't know. I tried TikTok yesterday and I got really lucky, and the very first video got, I don't know, like 400 likes and 6,000 views, which, considering I had no idea what I was doing, I just put out a video with a couple of hashtags, I find surprising, but I'm sort of already expecting the next video to not do nearly as well. So, because that was definitely an outlier. I don't think that you'll get more than a couple hundred views on anything. Like, how are people supposed to follow you if they don't even know you exist? It's not, the algorithm doesn't know that it should show you because you have no previous record of doing anything. It's like a credit rating in America where they check for your previous debt and how well you've paid it off, and your score improves. So I've seen this example where Warren Buffett would probably have a bad score, not just because the formula is based on his previous borrowing, and he never borrowed. So in the same way, if you have no videos, the algorithm doesn't know you're good. It doesn't know it should recommend you. It's going to wait. It's going to show it to a few people. And if they catch on, then that happens. On YouTube, same thing. Even if you're big, it only shows your video to a small subset of your subscribers first, which is something I've only recently learned. And only after that does it merit, like it checks how well they've responded. And based on that, it shows it to the rest, or doesn't, because other videos might have taken that place because they were doing better off. It's a sample. That's why the bell is there, so you can skip that process. And overall, I think the idea was good, but it hurt people more than it helped them, in a way. So if you're a casual viewer and you don't really care what you're going to watch, then that's fine. But if you want to watch some type of content or a channel regularly and you don't know about this, then it hurts you in the long run. And I think that would have been fine if they just told them that. But people had to figure it out over multiple days or weeks, I think. And that's just not really that good. And in the same way, I'm reading some stuff now about how TikTok is not really designed to help new content get up. It's the most well-known channels that are promoted automatically to the front page. So people are trying this hashtag for your page or something like that. And I'm not sure about it. Only thing I know is people are always trying to mess with the system, right? So I think it's a natural human tendency that when they see something that was designed to go along with the normal usage, right? So people just want to share videos and see some fun stuff. Once they see that there's an algorithm and something to be used, then it switches to you just focusing. It becomes a competition about who can get there first, about who can get the most likes. Nobody suddenly cares about, just, posting a good piece of content and hopefully it works. No, now it's like 90% about getting up there. Like, people don't prioritize content. They think that a mediocre piece of content, or maybe above average, is better to put on the front page than having a really good piece of content that people will maybe discover over time. Once another video, when the stars align, your video comes up naturally, as the algorithm should take it once, because it will check your previous one, which was really good and people reacted to it. It just wasn't shown that well, and then it should catch that on. I don't know. I think people are flipping it to the other side, where it suddenly doesn't work as intended and it becomes something completely different than it was meant for, and then something works in a bad way and people get worried about it, get frustrated, get sick of it. But I think if people just started using it for what it is, for what it was originally meant, then that would save them a lot of time. So of course you're not going to get to the front page with every post, and of course you're not going to get to the front page with your first piece of content or your first 10 pieces of content. I don't know. There's something in that algorithm that you just cannot control. So why bother obsessing over it? Like, give it everything you know. It should work. And once it's done, there's nothing more you can do. Right? There's like, people go to extreme lengths to help that 0.1%. If they instead focus that energy and effort on improving themselves, I think over the long run it would be much, much better. I'll be able to test this theory in a few months, but until then, just my theory. Right? Yeah, so that's my 2 cents to the conversation. And that's about it for today. See you tomorrow.